and let you guys watch, just for little documentation purposes.
All right, why? There we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Sure. Yep. I don't want to get too far into their parking lot. They might think we're trying to rob them. That's right. Put the hush puppies in the bag. Anybody? Hello. How's it going? You know, I got this burr up my butt, and I said, you know, let's go for an open carry walk. It's dark. It's cold. Why not? Mr. Lunatic, how you doing? So we're just gonna do an open carry walk out here. I got Proud of Your Freedom there. Howdy, howdy.
Good to see y'all.
So check out his channel, Proud of Your Freedom. Also live streaming, so if one of us goes down, we've got a backup. Today is also the day after the 1-year anniversary of the killing by Temple Police Department of Michael Dean. And the police still refuse to release the dash cam footage. I'm wearing my Yoda Santa hat. Exercise freedom, I will. Figured we pick one of the busiest roads in Temple for a Thursday night.
This is the best smelling road, though, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, Proud of Your Freedom out here with CJ Grisham. Out here doing an open carry walk down in 31st Street. Lovely Temple, Texas.
Let me see if I can.
I'll get this weird car. Hey, want to do
There we go.
Want to do an open carry?
Yes, it is a very fresh night.
I said, sure. Nighttime? Yeah, why not? Okay.
I don't know if this thing even works. There's no button or anything. Just stick your finger in there and get cancer. Pretty sure I just got AIDS sticking my finger in there.
Well, at least the COVID.
At least the COVID.
Yeah, well, at this point with the news, you'd rather get AIDS than
Oh well, screw you, red hand.
It's your friendly neighborhood militia patrol out here, patrolling our street. Thugs.
Also wearing my MAGA sweater for some reason. So I didn't realize Target is into kind of mask shaming.
Mask shaming?
Yeah, mask shaming. If you don't wear a mask, you know, they try to shame you by giving you one and, oh, here, sir, let me give you a mask. I'm like, no, I can't wear one. No, it's free. No, I don't want to, I can't wear a mask.
Well, you could do the Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation, like you did the jerky, the meatless jerky, just throw it in the trash.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Oh, what's happening? Yeah, me too, bro. Saturday, we'll see you out there Saturday.
So now that I'm back from law school, back here in Texas, decided to get out and do a little bit of a walk here. I haven't been able to do much activism, and I still can't do much activism. But we are going to go up to Wheeler County before I head back. Do some open carry walks way up there, because apparently they think. First of all, they don't think that the sheriff up there doesn't think he has to recognize reciprocity. He also believes that he can dictate when open carry is okay. We almost just witnessed an accident.
Yeah, that was close. Kyle Faffel. You guys can the link to buy some Kyle Faffel pins. American
We should go to the 800 block of North Main Street. That's where that robbery took place. Some dude hit in the head with a gun and got robbed.
The person that got robbed
Should have been. Apparently got, now I don't know if he got pistol whipped before or after, but the weird thing is, and it just occurred to me, maybe we don't want to go over there because the suspects, one was wearing a black hoodie and one was wearing a red hoodie, but they were black guys. So we're wearing a black hoodie and a red hoodie, but we're white guys.
But what did they identify as, though? That's the only thing that matters.
That's true.
Because we definitely don't want to infringe on their identification.
Get some. What's going on here in the comments? Anything? Hey, thanks, friends in code. How's it going? Can't stay on long. Standing outside Leon Valley, Texas City Council meeting. They kicked me out. Oh my gosh, for a knife. They can't do that.
Oh yeah, HBO Matt got booted out the other day for a knife too. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago. Watching that. The same short-haired dude. I think it's a chick though. Booted him out. Apparently, she's quite the Nazi.
I can't wait to become an attorney. I'll be suing city councils and cops and commissioners and just about everybody with authority. Or I'm sorry, with perceived authority.
You should come in like a crushed velvet suit for your first case.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have some freaking kick-ass suits. I've already looked at some that I want to get. It's gonna essentially be the entire LGBTQ rainbow.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
I've got to have my niche.
What are they gonna say? You know you're not gay, you can't wear that. That would be discrimination. You're like, I didn't know a rainbow was gay, but thanks.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a nice night. I mean,
yeah,
it's not so bad.
Not windy. I mean, if the wind was kicked up 5-10 miles an hour, it'd be brutal out here, but it's fine.
The only thing that's really cold are just my fingertips. That's it. I need to put some more meat on these bones. I smell weed. Yeah. It's that apartment.
When's Texas going to finally get like every neighboring state that's touching Texas and just finally do something about that?
There's a bill filed. We'll see. It's already filed.
We've got Abbott, which that is the biggest rhino do-nothing that we've seen in a long time. And I don't know, I need to study up on this Chad Prather guy. He seems to be talking my language, but you know, you never know. He just might be another Republican just saying what people want to hear.
But you know, Chad's been saying that stuff since even before there was any inkling about him becoming a politician.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a podcaster first and kind of like an Instagram type dude.
Yeah, he'd be sitting on his front seat of his truck doing his videos.
So I tend to believe, and even if he is somewhat statist, I still think he's better than Abbott.
Well, it's kind of like you get when Trump became president. You get someone in there to really shake shit up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because no matter what you think about Trump, and you know, we kind of both think the same on Trump. He shook shit up, and there's no denying that. There's no undoing it.
Right. I think it'll be Chad Prather versus Art Acevedo.
First come up.
Where? What?
He crossed over there. He's turning into Twin Liquors now.
Oh.
He started coming around, taking a gander, which is great.
Oh, that pizza smells good, and I just ate. Yeah, it looks like he is. He's just going over there to sit.
He's going to post up.
See that red? Let me see, right?
Yeah, he's getting out. He just put it in park.
He's right there, police officer.
Yep, he's rocking back and forth. He's in park.
Dang, I should have had my my app on, or I should have brought my radio to listen in. Or looking like he's doing paperwork.
Or he might have a hooker in there, and he's on our tax dollars.
Oh, there you go.
You know, if he had a hooker in there, I would actually not be mad right now, because at least he's not killing somebody.
True.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. Yeah, the people are moving out.
We're on 31st Street.
Crazy.
Just past the mall, on the southern side. So we're kind of moving south.
I mean, because look what they've already done to Arizona. Well, or what they perceive to have done to Arizona. You know, turning it blue. So I've got family that live in Idaho. And they thought they escaped.
So yeah, 31st Street and Temple.
Yeah, Idaho's red for now. Just like Texas. You never thought Texas would.
I'm going to turn this around for a minute and just see if I can see that officer.
Yeah, he might be behind a road. He's at a liquor store.
That's kind of hard to tell, all these lights.
And he might be,
I don't know if that's him right. Right. Wait. Oh,
no, he's just got his.
Right there. Is he still there?
Yeah, but he's just got his orange lights on. The road hazard.
No, he didn't stop us. He was right across the street though. Probably just watching. And then he probably saw the people with the cameras, and he's like, you know, Temple learned a lesson a few years ago. And they've been pretty decent with open carriers since 2014, really. But they still check. I'm sure some whiny little ninny called to whine and complain. And I'm also, in addition to wearing this Yoda hat, I'm also carrying my wife's pink AR-15.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'm not looking at your body, I promise. Just showing the pink. So that right there proves that you are not homophobic.
No, I'm very secure in who I am.
Very. So when Shannon Watts, Shannon Waits, or whatever, says, she yells in your face that you have a small penis, or has one of her minions yell at you at the Capitol, you just go, dude, I carried a pink rifle. Of course I have a small penis.
You know, when Shannon Watts tells people that I got a small penis, it really pisses me off because it betrayed my trust. She promised not to tell anybody that night.
He swore in that
yeah.
6.
That night we did a little cheek slapping to promise, you know.
You know, I've heard of pay by the hour, but pay by the minute hotels, man, that's something else.
Yeah. Dang, Shannon Watts ratting me out on my small penis.
I'm still looking for one of those Moms Demand Action shirts. The good ones, though. And I can't find one anywhere.
Well, I used to have some good Moms Demand Action shirts.
Jim has some.
Before they, I had one made Emily's got a great one, a one-of-a-kind one I made for her. It's got a bunch of different sex positions, like stick figure sex positions on it.
That's what I'm looking for. You can't find them anywhere, man. They keep getting, the sites keep getting zapped. And Teespring, you know, they're so welcoming and want you to come create designs and be a creator. They just zap you as soon as you create. As soon as you create something, they just zap it if they don't like it.
All right, government watchdog. I'm worried that your new primary obligation as a counselor at law will be first to the court, state judge, and then to the public, and lastly your client, because that's the oath required. Nope. I'm not becoming an attorney. I understand that attorneys are, quote, officers of the court, but that's only to the extent that the Constitution and laws require. I will only join the bar because I'm required to, but I'm becoming an attorney for no one else other than freedom. So if I take you as a client, it means that you're my priority. And I want to tell you some things that have some attorneys that inspired me. And one of them was my old attorney, Blue Ranefeld from up in Fort Worth. And there was an incident back when I was going through my first trial. I guess we can cross over here. Well,
Yeah, I think we can. There's a button
yeah.
here somewhere. I'll go push it. See if there's one.
Or is it on the other side? I think we have to cross, and then cross.
Oh.
But anyway, so during my trial, it's called invoking the rule, and there's a rule where any party. Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that. Somehow lost connection for a minute, which is weird. All right, everybody still got me? All right, so anyway, I guess I'll go back to that story. So long story short is they tried to get me on the what do they call it? Contempt. So they're trying to get me on contempt, and the prosecution was trying to get me on a legal issue. And so called my attorney and his attorney, or the state attorney, back to chambers. And the judge was saying all kinds of, just cussing us out. He called us, me and my wife, local yokels. He said if he had his way, he was going to toss us all in jail, including my son, to teach us how to be good parents, right? So he did all this. Let me see if I can fix this zoom. Why is it blurry like that? Yeah. No, it's all blurry for some reason. I don't know. It'll fix itself, hopefully. Let me try this. There we go. So, anyway, this judge says all of this biased stuff in chambers about me and my wife. Stuff that no judge is supposed to be saying because he's supposed to be a neutral observer. And when they get back into the courtroom, my attorney comes up to me and he says, CJ, no matter what you hear, no matter what's about to happen, don't say anything, don't make any moves, don't make any faces, just act as if you didn't hear anything. And I'm thinking, what the heck's going on here? Now, the reason I'm telling this story is because this is my inspiration for the kind of attorney I want to be. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So then the judge walks in and he says, okay, we ready to get started? Counsel, you have anything before we get started? My attorney stands up and he says, Your Honor, and he repeats everything the judge said in chambers that was said off the record, and he said it to make sure it was on the record. And he says, you called my clients local yokels, you said you'd throw them in jail if you had your way, and your job here is not to cast labels upon the parties at interest, and blah, blah, blah. And he pulls out this toothbrush from his suit coat, a blue toothbrush, and he says, and Your Honor, if I'm lying, I brought my toothbrush and I'm ready to go to jail. And he slams it on the table, and he demands that the judge recuse himself. And the judge just said, overruled. Anything else? And then we moved on with the trial. But the fact of the matter is, that attorney literally put his career on the line for his client, which was me, and could have been sent to jail for contempt. Of course, then the attorney could have sued the judge. But long story short, that's the kind of guy I'm going to be. I'm not becoming an attorney to whack off the system. I'm becoming an attorney to freaking bring some semblance of constitutional law back to the system, and in a way that people can afford, because right now, you got a civil rights case, it's just way too expensive unless you've got a case that's going to generate a whole lot of money for the attorney, like tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for the attorney. That's on top of whatever the judgment is. A lot of these attorneys won't take these cases because they're hard. They really are hard. Fuck yourself! Fuck me! Dumbass.
I was going to say, okay.
Someone just drove by saying fuck you.
to that red light. You know, if I
We should run up to the red light.
in my youth.
Except that I'm not going to run anywhere.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
I retired so I wouldn't have to run anywhere again.
No one's making me run.
I also retired so I wouldn't have to be outside in the cold.
Look at our dumbasses.
Jeez.
Well, the poor dudes out in Fort Hood, man, they're out there. I can hear them on the range. Those rounds, I can hear the echoes coming through the living room.
Were y'all able to hear that car, or did you just hear me yelling back? Okay, good. So anyway, getting back to that, so I'm retired. I've got a retirement paycheck. I'm also a disabled veteran, and so I've got a paycheck from my war injuries. And I mean, it's not like I live large. I don't live large at all. I mean, I'm probably lower middle class. I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to afford much if I didn't live on my family farm. But the bottom line is, I don't need to be an attorney to pay the bills. And the reason a lot of these attorneys don't take these cases, or they charge so much, is because they are time intensive. And you know, generally you're probably, if you take a case pro bono, the likelihood of you getting reimbursed is very low. But I can afford to take a losing case, quote unquote losing case, but I just won't take a case that I'm not gonna win, or I don't believe I have a strong argument to win. And sometimes I'll even take a case I know I'm gonna lose just to get it into the case law, so that we can get it up there. But that's my point. Now, obviously, I've got to make some money, but I do plan to, one, shake up the system. We got a button? Oh, we got a button. Let's see if that works. And I'm never going to sell out my principles. It's the same thing I did in the Army. I never surrendered my principles in the Army, and it cost me frequently. You know, I didn't get after 21 years in the Army, I did not get a retirement award. And the reason is because the general wouldn't sign it. And the reason the general wouldn't sign it was because I filed a congressional against him when his IG, his IG and the staff judge advocate refused to, what did he say?
I have no idea.
Refused to hold him accountable. So I filed a congressional against the commanding general of 3 Corps, who, by the way, right now, I believe is still the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Oh, would that be MM? Initials Mike?
Okay, maybe it was the previous chief of staff. Who's the chief of staff now?
I thought it was Mark Milley, wasn't it?
Oh, no, Milley. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Mark Milley. For some reason, I was thinking A.
Oh.
But that was his deputy chief. Starts with an A.
Oh.
Had a weird name.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Mark Milley refused to sign it because he had sent out a general order saying that any soldier under 3 Corps command who is asked by a police officer for identification will provide either his military identification, state driver's license, or both to the officer. And it doesn't matter. I mean, that's it. It was just a blanket order. Well, it's obviously unconstitutional because it violates the 4th Amendment rights of troops. But I fought that anyway, and ended up in this big battle with the commanding general. You know, here's this master sergeant in the United States Army filing a congressional on the commanding 3-star general of a corps, and I won. He had to rescind his policy, but he wouldn't sign my retirement award. So 21 years of honorable service, promoted to 1st sergeant faster than just about anybody in my branch, and got nothing. But it's okay. I didn't care. I just wanted to get out of the freaking Army. Yes, I do. Now, so government watchdog, the deal with recording is a double-edged sword. I did during my internship, the attorney I was working with, Millie Thompson out of Austin, asked me to look into the idea of cameras in court. And I was just like most people, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it. So I still lean more towards,
Behind that minivan, you got a security guard right there.
I still lean more towards having cameras in courtrooms, but I'm not as adamant as I used to be, because it is a double-edged sword where a camera in a courtroom, depending on the case, especially if you've got a high-profile case, can actually undermine a case, a defense, and make it harder for someone to get justice. And so when I did this paper for my attorney, that's the conclusion I came to, is that it's kind of a double-edged sword. And honestly, if you look at the Constitution, the only person according to the Constitution that's entitled to a public trial is the defendant. And so the public has no right to a public trial. And again, this is through all the research I've done and looking at the Constitution itself. And the Constitution is very clear that the defendant shall have the right to a public, fair public trial, not the people. So I would argue, if a defendant says, hey, I want this recorded, then the defendant should have the right to be able to do that, understanding the potential consequences that may come from that decision, especially if it's a high-profile case. But the public, we the people, while we should be allowed to go in and watch cases, obviously, but I'm not sure. It's something I still have to research, but let's just say I'm probably at about a 55% in favor of cameras, as opposed to where I used to be, which was 100%. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. The defendant has that right, or should have that right, according to the Constitution. But also, if the defendant says he doesn't want cameras, then it's the defendant's right to say no, not the state's. And that's where I think the problem is.
Justice in North Carolina, he's going through it right now. He's blind. He's a blind auditor, and he wanted to bring in his assisted seeing devices into the courtroom, and they denied him, and they ended up putting out a warrant for his arrest. Well, he came to court to go for the exact warrant he was coming to be seen for, and the bailiffs held him outside the courtroom, so he couldn't get into his court hearing. The judge declared him a no-show, put him on a $50,000 cash bond. What? Threw him in the clink, and then put him on house arrest.
Wow.
I mean, give me a fucking break. It's just, there's just so much abuse by the magistrates. They do whatever they want. As soon as they put on that little black robe, they think they're God, and that shit's got to stop.
And see, that's where I, as an attorney, would be filing briefs and motions, and also an information paper to the grand jury under 1983 violations, because a judge doesn't have really have that authority.
No.
And he's not supposed to be acting as if, it's not when a court hands down a sentence or a decision. It's not, I, Judge so-and-so, order this. It's the court orders.
That's right.
And so the judge is just the representation of the court. He's not God. Unfortunately, the system protects itself. And I think it mostly protects itself because, to be honest with you, most attorneys are afraid to fight back.
Right.
They're afraid of losing their license to practice. Here's the funny little loophole here. Even if I lose my license by taking a stand, they can't keep me from representing people.
Right.
I just can't represent them as an attorney, and I can't be paid.
Right.
And so I can still go into a court and represent somebody, and
He's
just
my representation. He's not my attorney. He's just here assisting me.
That's right. So I don't really care. If I lose my license, I lose my license. I lose it for the right reasons. I believe more in freedom than I do in licensing. And there are still ways to fight the system. And of course, anyone responsible for taking away my license, I'll sue. Because if I do something, it's going to be legal and constitutional, period. The public should have the ability and right to record the public, servant, judge, and other public servants. I agree, they should. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this, and I've done this a couple times for friends in traffic court years ago, where I would represent them in traffic court, but I would make sure they know, one, I'm not getting paid, and two, I am not representing myself as an attorney. I am this person's representative, and that person has a right to representation and counsel. The Constitution doesn't say what counsel is, what the bar is, and all that kind of stuff. So you just can't make yourself out to be an attorney.
People don't understand that when they're on a jury, also, they are more powerful than that judge.
Oh, yeah.
The judge gives out illegal orders all the time. Some guy comes in and he's accused of having cocaine shoved up his ass and crossed a border. It doesn't matter. This person could say, you know what? I completely understand. Not guilty.
Yep.
You know?
And it just takes one.
It just takes one. And you stand your ground on it. And if you want to make a statement against an unjust system, for God's sakes, do it, man.
The purpose of the prosecutor or the plaintiff, if it's a civil case, the purpose of the prosecutor is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt to every member of the jury that a person is guilty. Every member of the jury.
That doesn't happen very often.
So if just one person disagrees and takes that stand and says, no, I don't care if it's the law or not, I disagree. Keep in mind, as a juror, you're not required to tell anybody why you voted to acquit or voted for guilt.
Right.
And so nobody ever has to know why that one person voted for guilt or voted for innocence. And so it's very important for jurors, especially if you're an activist juror who believes in the Constitution and not procedure, to disagree and just say, look, I don't think they've proven their case, period. You don't have to say, I just don't believe this law is constitutional, or I don't agree with this law, I think it's immoral. You're not required to do that as a juror. All you've got to do is vote, yes or no.
That's right.
Up or down, guilty, not guilty. Yeah, Michigan's in a tough spot. I've been up to Michigan. I went up to as a matter of fact, I brought some pictures to Austin because here, when I went up to Michigan at Lansing, I went to a Second Amendment rally up there a few years ago. And some guys from the militia after the rally says, hey, CJ, come here, we want to show you something. So these militia guys, they're all in their camouflage. Some of them got muskets as a symbolic thing, and some of them actually have ARs and AKs and all that. So they take me into the Capitol. Now keep in mind, this is on the Capitol grounds. Everybody at this rally has long arms, right?
Wasn't it in session?
It was in session, yeah. So we go inside. There's no metal detector at all. There's just one state trooper sitting at a desk, kind of watching people come in. There's no metal detector, no searches, nothing. Then they take me up into the Senate gallery. Keep in mind, these guys all have their rifles and everything with them.
Up above
above the senators.
All the lawmakers.
And they're down there debating stuff. And we're sitting up there, and I've got pictures of this. We're sitting up there in the people's place with our rifles, no problem. Come back to Texas, these jackwagons won't even let you onto the grounds inside that iron fence.
If they think your pistol's a rifle, they try to assault you.
So I brought that back, and I was arguing that, you know, are Michigan's people more trustworthy than Texans? What is this nonsense? But yeah, Michigan, although Michigan's Whitmer, right?
Yeah, Whitmer.
Yeah, you guys have a fight on your hands, though. I know she's trying to undermine you guys left and right. But I think Michigan has a very powerful militia presence, probably more than, probably more than many other states.
Well, now that Texas has got Poncho out of the way, these little
Yeah.
Panic button's gone.
Your hat looks like a cowboy hat in the shadow. It does. But it's a Yoda hat.
That's awesome.
Oh, here's hang on, I'm not gonna pull my gun around while I'm standing here. I don't want people to think I'm causing a problem. I'll show you my wife's rifle here in a second. And I guess I could tell you a story about that. So after my arrest here in 2013, this company, Rain Ordnance, contacted me, and we were going to have a rally in June 1st. And I'd gone to the NRA convention that year, and these guys approached me, and I got to meet Glenn Beck and talk about my story of how I got arrested lawfully carrying a gun. And so Black Rifle, there's like, hey man, hey, what's going on, Picture Perfect? So they're like, you know, we wanted to do something. We heard what happened to you. They took your guns. And, you know, we were going to donate money to your defense, but we decided, you know, we're a gun company. Why don't we just why don't we just replace his guns? And so they wanted to give me a gun. And I says, you know, hey, look, guys, I really appreciate that. And this is Rain Ordnance out of Arkansas. No, Missouri. I think it's Missouri.
I think you're right.
The town that they're in starts with an O. But I was like, man, I really do appreciate that. I really do, but I really just want, we'll just go here.
Yeah.
I really just want my guns back, you know? And they were really adamant. They're like, no, we really, you know, this is what we want to do for you. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. Will you build one for my wife? And they're like, absolutely. I says, yeah, I mean, I really appreciate it, but I don't need another gun.
That's like...
And yeah, I know. I just didn't want to take advantage of anybody over my circumstances. And what the heck? Why is our light not green?
I don't know, but we got one.
We're probably not going to get to go across if... There, we'll just go.
Right here, yep.
He sees us. But, so they're like, yeah, we'll build one for your wife. So we go down to their booth down there at the NRA convention in Houston. And, went down their booth, they hand me their catalog, and they're like, all right, build your gun. And I was like, what? They said, yeah, just pick out the parts you want, what you want it to look like, everything. I mean, everything from the flash suppressors to the trigger, everything. So I built my wife this really sweet gun with low recoil. I made, hello. She's actually got, I'm ashamed to say, the best gun in the house right now. Well, I don't know. I built a good... This last one I built is actually pretty nice.
That Grindle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking dope.
But she's definitely got the best AR, you know, 223 5.56 gun in the house. I'll show it to you guys here in a second. Well, I'll show it to you now. So it's a pink camouflage
environment. Totally stealth.
Yeah. This is urban camouflage right here. What?
In Austin.
In Austin, yeah, it's good camouflage for Austin. But the company is Rain Ordnance, so if you're looking for a really good boutique style rifle, you got a few extra dollars to spend. Definitely go to Rain Ordnance. They truly support liberty and freedom. And I've been buying. I buy their flash suppressors quite regularly because they've got like tendrils on the end, so. If for some reason you run out of ammo, you can just stab the dude with your rifle and twist.
Breach their chest plate.
Yeah. Temple, Texas. Somebody asked what city we're in. Temple, Texas.
You know, a lot of places, a lot of companies, man, they say they're about, we promote freedom and the Constitution. We need to get back we need to get back to our roots. You know,
what is that noise?
Have no friggin' idea.
Oh, that's the battery in the handle.
They have no idea, and it becomes a marketing scam for a lot of these companies.
Yes. But yeah, it's pretty. Here, once we stop here at the light, I'll take that. I left my gimbal in Virginia. There we go. I think we can go.
Hey, let's see.
Let's give it a shot.
Right to the middle. Hit those guys with the guns, man.
Now I'm all bumpy. There we go.
We need to get another gimbal. What was that, $50 on each?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Have a Texas gimbal and a Virginia gimbal.
So it's funny, you guys have seen that video on YouTube or maybe somebody sent it to you. It's law students, schools, cops, and these cops come up and he's quoting off like Delaware v. Bruce and Brown v. Texas and all these case laws. And it's so funny because this semester in constitutional law and criminal procedure, we discussed every single one of those cases, and I'm like, that guy was a second-year law student. He must have been, to memorize and remember all those cases so readily.
He's sitting in class like, I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, that's right, man.
That one too.
Why are you in my state? What state is that? Texas? I live here. I'm from here. I was born here.
How dare you?
I'm like a 5th generation Texan, or 6th generation, I think. I'm the 6th generation. There's five ahead of me. Every day is Fuck the Cops Day. Yes. Happy FTP Day, FTC Day. Well, FTP if you say police.
FTG, fuck the government.
Can the government force the vax? No. They cannot. For the same reasons that, let's say you get shot. You're in a firefight or something and you get shot and there's a bullet still lodged in your body. The government is not even allowed to constitutionally go in and surgically remove that bullet either, because it's too intrusive. So, no, they can't force you to do that. Now, what they can do is withhold certain government. Well, I'm sorry. Let me tell you. Let me rephrase that. Shoot, my wife's calling. All right, hey guys, I'm gonna have to cut this off because there's no way I'm gonna.
And we're back at the truck.
Yeah, we're back at the truck anyway. Let me turn this around. But so as the case law stands right now, potentially they could, depending on how they argue it. But I don't think the arguments that allow for things like forced vaccinations have been properly challenged since the 20s. And so I don't think I think there's a legal exception that you can make and a legal argument you can make against vaccinations. I refuse to vaccinate. I haven't even taken the flu shot in like 13 years. Okay. No, I don't agree. It just depends on how you argue it. Now, what Dershowitz might have been going off of is current case law. And under current case law, it's likely to be upheld if they use the same arguments that the case law is based on. I'm going to be the Ninth Amendment attorney. I think the Ninth Amendment is what protects us against these forced vaccinations. And actually, a lot of these unconstitutional laws is the Ninth Amendment. But there's absolutely no case law in the Ninth Amendment. Just none. It's never used. It's like it doesn't even exist.
Time to create it.
And so I'm going to create it. That's right. I'm going to create that case law. All right, guys. Hey, I got to get going. Thanks for riding. We had no issues. We saw one cop that obviously was looking, seeing what we were doing, what we were up to, saw that we probably had cameras and didn't want none of that, and drove off. So we didn't have any issues. You guys stay safe. The Ninth Amendment is rights not specifically reserved to the federal government or to the states, or to the federal government, is reserved to the people. So the Ninth Amendment essentially says that the first 8 amendments aren't all of the rights that people have out there.
If we didn't cover it,
yeah,
figure it out.
And it was put in there because the founders were very worried about the fact that if we enumerate a certain number of rights, then only those rights are going to get recognized by the government. And as you know, that's pretty much what's been happening. And so the Ninth Amendment was created as a way to say, look, we're not enumerating all the rights. There are others, and they're reserved to the people. If they're not here, specifically in the Constitution, then the people reserve those rights. If it's not reserved to the state or federal government. All right, guys, you guys take care. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and share. Feel free to donate if you'd like. We are gonna need some money when we're going up to Wheeler County. It's about a 10-hour round trip drive. And we're going to go up to Wheeler County and teach some Wheeler County sheriffs about gun rights and open carry and reciprocity and essentially the Constitution.
And go subscribe to Proud of Your Freedom.
And subscribe to Proud of Your Freedom as well. My Venmo is @CJ Grisham. My Cash App is $CJ Grisham. And my PayPal is CJ@CJGrisham.com. or you can use the super chat here. I think I still have super chat if I haven't been demonetized.
Yeah, I think you do.
And so that'll help us with gas and stuff like that. So, oh, good. You got Government Watchdog subscribed to you, you said.
Good.
So, yeah, proud of your freedom.
Appreciate it, brother.
And this one here. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later. I know I haven't been posting a lot. Again, while I'm in law school, that's my focus. If I don't graduate law school, all of this is for nothing. I can't help activists. And so, unfortunately, in order to play the game, or in order to graduate, I have to play the game for a little while, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the game for a few years. I've got a year and a half left. I just finished my master's at law, so I do have a Juris Master's degree now, which is, you know, when a cop says, oh, where'd you go to law school? It's going to be funny when I get to answer that question. So, all right, guys, y'all take care. Be safe and be free. Oh, yes, I did see what happened to James Freeman, and it pissed me the flip off. Billy the Kid Norwood, subscribe to you.
Nice. Thank you, brother.
Yes. What happened to James was, I'm telling you, I was watching that video. We were driving back from Oklahoma, and I was watching the video and listening to this is now my wife is a strong woman. She has to be, being married to me. Is a strong woman. She is an amazing person, and she can take a lot. I mean, she's had to go through a lot with me, whether it's being in combat, either in Iraq, Afghanistan, or here in Texas, against the police force, the blue ISIS. And so we're watching this video, and it literally got to a point. I look over, and my wife is like trying to block her. She does not want to listen to it, and she's never done that before. It's that bad. When my wife is turning off, and it's too bad for her to even listen to, that's bad, man. And what happened to James Freeman is bad.
Bullshit.
It's absolute. I'm telling you, those guys, there's only one way to deal with those kinds of people, and that's lead therapy. That's it.
Totally.
West Central, what is that? West Central Indiana CW just rubbed proud.
Nice. Appreciate it, brother.
You're getting some rubs there. James took it down. He took it down because he's got, but there is, if you go to Pigs Under Pressure.
Yep.
Go to Pigs Under Pressure. I think he's got some of that video up.
Extra Good Citizens got it up too.
Extra Good Citizens probably got it up. But Pigs Under Pressure showed up after James had gotten attacked. He was watching it live and showed up like a few minutes after the attack. And dude, I'm telling you, he was on it, yelling for them to get on the ground. Get on the ground, citizens arrest. Get on the effing ground. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, YouTube, Pigs Under Pressure. All right, I can just keep talking and keep talking. I don't want to do that anymore. You guys take care, be safe, and be free. I'll see y'all next time. And thanks for being here and watching.